too and stuff, you know. So
Like
yeah,
Great.
we have a way to look at the comments that come up here from the different places when people come in.
right.
I
I'm
love
not
it.
sure if you could see it or not right now, but yeah. I just push the live button. So we are live. This is Chris and Tommy, and we are with Mr. Jesse Kove from Cobra Kai. Welcome, Jesse.
Oh, thanks for having me. I like your Eagle Fang shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you, big Eagle fan. Yeah, for sure. So thank you. So, Tommy, do you want to start asking some questions?
Yeah, so Jesse, tell us a little bit about your character that you played on this recent season of Cobra Kai.
Well, I played Varsity Captain David, and hold for plane. I like doing these outside. It's just so much nicer than doing them inside. Um,
Right.
and played Varsity Captain David in season 3 of Cobra Kai, and he's a hot-headed guy. I mean, he's got a big ego, and he doesn't like anybody to get in the way of what he wants, and it he was a lot of fun to play. Just one of the real jerk. But kind of like a villainous character, which I really do enjoy playing. I love playing villains. It just gives you so much freedom to kind of do what you want. But I had such a joy playing David. He was obviously very challenging towards the Young Kreese character, and which was this great amalgamation of just us butting heads, and the whole how they did it all was just incredible. And at the beginning of the whole sequence, I was basically channeling John Kreese at the very beginning, which was just a blast.
Right, right. What did you do to prepare to step in for this role? And I mean, definitely. I mean, how did you like get in shape for it and stuff?
Well, I'm been an athlete my whole life, so I naturally love to work out, on a daily basis. And there was definitely a lot of fighting involved. So I flew down to Atlanta, and I started training with Hiro Koda, who is the stunt coordinator, with his wife Janelle, and they're just incredible. I mean, just even getting a chance to work with them was just such a joy, and a great milestone. They've worked on such amazing movies and television, and of course Cobra Kai. So there was definitely some big shoes I had to jump into. But they had this whole sequence that they actually had shot on video, and they showed it to me. They edited it with music and everything, and the choreography. And when they first showed it to me, I was like, "Are you serious? This is what you want me to do?" I was so intimidated at first, and then we were in the dojo down there. We were working it out and getting all the kinks, and within about 30 minutes, we had the whole thing down. That whole fight sequence, that you saw in the back of the diner, which was just so much fun. I mean, Barrett Carnahan and I, who plays Young Kreese, we just had such a blast, basically kicking each other's asses for 12 hours. And we both knew what we were part of, and I was so excited to be there and to be able to join Cobra Kai. It was such a it was a dream on its own, and I never thought I could ever be part of the Karate Kid or Cobra Kai universe. And the way it worked out was just so beautifully crafted by John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg and Josh Heald. The big three. They're just the geniuses behind Cobra Kai.
Right, I follow all of them on Twitter. That they're three creators, and they have nailed it in with the script and the storyline, the way it's going with everybody and stuff. I mean, how did you like driving that car of Ralph Macchio's and stuff?
Oh, awesome! You found the Easter egg. Funny, by the way, did you notice that at all the first time you saw it, or did you kind of put that together later on when we talked about it?
I actually put it together and stuff. I was just
Oh,
like,
wow, okay.
I
yeah, I was
noticed it.
just, yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, I noticed, and so it was basically like, whoa, he's getting to drive Ralph's car, you know?
it was a treat, man. They actually didn't tell me about that until the day of. And by the way, that's little Ginger in the back there.
Oh,
Um, and yeah, they didn't tell me till the day of. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna drive this," and I was like, "Oh, this one?" And they're like, "Yep, that's the." I was like, "This is crazy." And I remember I got inside of it, and I wanted to make sure I could drive it because they had to redo the engine and all that stuff for that car because it had basically been, it was Ralph's car that he kept, basically like in a hangar that he had, as his, it's like a prized possession of his that he got from the original Karate Kid, and yeah, I got in the car and I just kind of like, it's like one of those things where you're, I'm also a fan of, the Karate Kid movies, even though, my father is Martin Kove. So I appreciate the movie for what it is. And to be able to be in this car and drive this car in this during Cobra Kai was just, it was incredible, and I treated it like with a lot of honor. And I make jokes about like, carving, Cobra Kai on the side panel or something. But, it was a real treat. And I had this great video on my Instagram I posted about being inside the car. And it was awesome. And then just the continued, path of, the whole diner sequence after that. But there was all this fun talk about like, oh, maybe I sold the car to Miyagi later on in life, or did I get it from him somehow or something like that? So who knows? If they end up doing that, it'd be very cool.
Right, exactly. I mean, pretty much. I mean, I mean, I like the thunder and lightning that was outside pretty much when you guys were filming too and stuff. I mean, I mean,
Yeah, we it's so
go ahead. I'm
amazing.
sorry.
Know some of this. Yeah, yeah. So we had this huge fight sequence in the back, and it was like it was that day. You would never know, but it was raining and there was all these thunderstorms. We had like stop production for like 3 hours. We were all just sitting around inside that diner, just waiting for this like thunderstorm to stop. And we had to then pick up the pace as we were shooting it towards the end. So, we were like really trying to get in there and get it done because, they couldn't lose the time and they're beating the light, and, but yeah, there were definitely, it had some challenges, of course, just like any project, they're unique in their own way. But again, it was just such a pleasure. My dad was there watching the whole time. He was like a giddy little kid, watching me basically fight himself, his
Right,
younger self.
right. I have to ask you, what is it like working with your dad, Martin? I mean, because I've met him, he's really awesome too. I mean,
Oh, awesome. Where'd you meet him?
I met him and me and Tommy went to, where did we go? We went to SuperCon in
Yeah.
Florida.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, great.
Ralph was also there too.
Yeah, he is.
right.
Those guys have so much fun when they go to the different Comic Cons. They love meeting their fans. I've been to several of them. I went down to the San Diego Comic Con when Cobra Kai was down there. We just had a blast. And
Right.
working with my dad it's so much fun. We literally we just laugh. All we do is laugh and have a good time, and we encourage each other, and we're always trying to push each other to do our best work. And it's this really interesting relationship to have that, as actors and father and son. And it's also like beautiful at the same time for us to be able to do that together. We can like give to each other in these certain ways, and it's just it's really, there's a wonderful familiarity with it. We're very comfortable around each other, and obviously he and I are huge cinema nerds. So we always try to get the best performance that we can from each other, out of each other, for each other. And it's always been a joy, and I love working with him. And the best thing about it is I always remember that when I do work with him, what we shoot is forever. It will be on camera, it'll be on film forever. So I can always look back over the years and see these different projects that we've done. It's like it's like having these photographs on like a mantle, but it's different movies.
Right. So for you, I mean, actually, I have to ask. Like, there's already 3 seasons. They're working on the fourth one right now.
Yep.
So, what is your favorite Cobra Kai series? I mean, like 1, 2, and 3, or I mean, and what is your favorite episode? Actually, too.
Funny enough, season 3 was my favorite, not just because I was in it, but the entire arc of that season, and how John Kreese was involved in all that, and how he took over the dojo. I think people were waiting to see this moment that he was going to be where he's fully himself and back in his position of power. And I just really enjoy seeing that, and then also seeing that play out with all the other characters in the show. And then also the struggles between he and Johnny. The one thing though I loved in season 2 was seeing Johnny and John Kreese working together. I wish that almost lasted even longer because it was so fun to see them working together again. But season 3 episode 10 was my absolute favorite. I mean, what they did with those flashback sequences to the young version of Kreese, and then having Daniel fighting Kreese and also fighting Johnny. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was like a Star Wars saga, And then
Right.
Johnny comes into the dojo at the end, and he's seeing my dad train, his son, and it's just like this incredible, like Darth Vader and the Sith and the Jedi, and like it was incredible. And then the music, they even had like Star Wars, type theme music in that sequence, because they wanted that kind of feel to it. And it was this big saga and this big moment. And there was just so much that went on in episode 10, that huge fight sequence in the house. So definitely that by far was my favorite.
What's funny is that the thinking about the flashbacks and all. I mean, I wish they went on for a little longer too, and stuff. Just because they were kind of dark, but they were really awesome as well. I mean,
Yeah.
to have that feel of like getting to know what Young Kreese was all about, and getting to know like some of the things that were happening with John Kreese that kind of make him go crazy.
Yeah, and you kind of have this understanding of him and where he's come from, and then you actually have more sympathy for him, and you actually can, are some of his things that he does, are they justified? And so I think
Mhm.
that's great that they did that, and obviously also for Ralph's character going back to Okinawa and seeing that history.
Yeah.
It's really, it just, again, it expands the story, it expands the relationships, and I think it just also it's even more interesting to see all these things that we never even knew that we would be able to see.
Right.
Right. Do you have any questions, Tommy? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Tommy.
you mentioned that you've done other projects with your dad. So what other kind of projects have you worked on with your dad other than Cobra Kai?
Oh, we've done so many. We did this great short that's on Amazon right now. You guys would love it. It's called Show No Mercy, and he basically plays himself as John Kreese, who's like retired, and now he owns like a video game store, a video game shop, like a bar, and like an arcade bar. And I play this character who works for him, and there's all these great Karate Kid references in it. And him and I end up going into a video game and fighting each other. It's really fun. That was a short we did that we did years ago that we loved. He was also in a movie I did called D-Day, which came out last year. I was shooting that movie. It was a World War II action film. And I went to the writers and I said, guys, can we get my dad in here somehow? He would love to do something. And they were thrilled. And they're like, well, will you do that? I said, of course, we love working together. They wrote in this great scene with him and I. And also we did a movie in Dallas, Texas last year called VFW. And that's with William Sadler and Stephen Lang. And it was just awesome. That was probably the bloodiest movie that any of us has ever done. But a really, really great film. Got a lot of critical acclaim. It was great. It's kind of like Expendables, but in a bar with Army veterans. And then there's another film came out this year called Max Reload and the Nether Blasters. We actually had no scenes together, but he played the grandfather to the main character. And what else is there? There's a bunch. God, it's like I have to go on IMDb to look at myself to see what else we've done. But there's at
Right.
least
Right.
6 or 7 of them that we've done together, and it's always a good time. I mean, like I said earlier, we just love to help each other out, and there's so much more that we want to do. There is more. We're going to do another project together. I think about a month and a half or so together, which is great on this show on Amazon, and yeah, I think the end goal, he and I would love to maybe be on a series together where, maybe it's like a Western or something like, rookie cop, veteran cop type deal, or father son, or brothers or something. It'd be amazing.
Right. Do you think you're gonna do you think there could be possibly a spin-off of your character on Cobra Kai to another series?
There's been a lot of speculation on that. They talked about, they publicly talked about maybe doing a Kreese spinoff, which would be just amazing. I've had great conversations with Barrett Carnahan, who plays Young Kreese, and he and I have become good friends from the show, and he and I were talking to each other all the time in anticipation of the release of season 3, because we were so excited for people to see it, and we had to keep this secret for so long, that they were going to do these sequences, and so. And he and I have joked about it, maybe they'll have this continued rivalry with he and I, and who knows what else. But it would be amazing. I would love. It'd be so great to step back into the shoes of David and see what happens. Maybe there's a friendship that's formed. Who knows?
Right, like with Daniel, if something happens with Daniel, or I mean,
Totally. But I think more importantly, it's as if you guys want to see that.
I would. I mean, honestly, I would like to see a John Kreese spinoff. Honestly, I mean, because it would be very, very awesome to see and stuff. That's
Right.
just
more
me.
detail than what the flashback showed us.
I will let Netflix know.
Right, right. So, I mean, I've a few more questions. What inspired you to be an actor in the first place? I mean, yeah.
Awesome question. Thank you. It's funny. My dad never pushed me to be in the industry at all growing up. I was always on movie sets when I was younger, and I loved being on set. It was always like a magical place for me. I loved watching the magic happen and seeing my dad act, and whether it's a futuristic movie or a western or a drama or a love story. And then when I was always in theater arts programs growing up, and I was always making movies when I was a kid. I just love cinema. I love telling stories and characters, and acting just is always so much fun and also challenging, but it's never feels like work in a way because I'm doing what I love. And when I was about 18, I just was like, I'm gonna do this professionally, and I got an agent and started getting work, and it was just great. But yeah, my dad never pushed me to be in it because it is a crazy industry. There's no guarantees, and you got to have you got to have a big spirit to be able to take a lot of rejection that happens in the industry. But it's been incredibly beneficial and rewarding, and I have absolutely no regrets.
Right, right. Absolutely, I agree with you. Oh, Tommy, you wanted to ask a question?
Yeah, I I've noticed that your Twitter profile, and it says you're like creator and stuff on it. This was just totally created by chance. I'm wearing that. I just
Oh, I
remembered
love
that.
it. Yeah.
So which do you see yourself most as? The creator, which like storytelling, or do you see yourself as the actor now in your stage?
Um, I think that's a tricky question. I think they kind of mold together in a certain way, but I think the creator ends up doing the actual the doingness of everything that you're doing. You create it in your mind and then you go and do it. You put it in the body and then you do it. So I definitely obviously love creating it. I love directing as well. I love being behind the camera, producing as well. I've produced a few films, and the whole creative process is just so much fun. And at the end of the day, when you're watching your movie on the big screen or at home, it's always so rewarding and feels so good, to see your work and to also hopefully have moved other people.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that's how I see it too.
Yeah.
right. Keep on going, Tommy. You're doing good.
All right, just want to say hello to everyone watching out there. If you got questions, well, we're still having them on here. Feel free to. Just let you guys know we did have someone say hello from the UK.
Oh my God. What's up?
Right,
What's up
right.
from what's up to the UK? I love
So
love
that
it
leads
over
me
there.
to
Been there many
the next
times.
question is, have you filmed any movies or shows outside of the US?
I did. So I did a movie in Beijing a couple years ago called On Wings of Eagles, another World War II drama. That was with Joseph Fiennes. Incredible movie, huge movie, biggest movie I've ever done. Big budget, and it was just, the movie had so much heart. It was a love story, also dealing with the unfortunate tragedy of war, and it was just it was an incredible movie. We shot that all over China. I was there for like 3 months, and I mean that was a absolute dream project. I mean, it was just every day I'd come on set and there was like 300 people creating these massive sets, and it was a big upheaval, and again so rewarding, but it's so interesting always to travel outside of your home or the U.S. to go shoot a movie, because movie making here is essentially movie making anywhere, because everybody's wanting to create and tell stories. And I thought about that all the time when I was in China. I was like, here we are with this Hong Kong crew, and they're here to tell you know a story that we would tell anywhere in the world. And it's amazing where you get all these different countries that work together to try and tell beautiful stories.
Right, right, exactly. I agree with you on beautiful stories. I mean, is there anybody that you want to work with out there that you haven't worked with already?
Oh my God, the list is endless. Everyone that I love, whether it's Christian Bale or Maggie Smith, or my God, the list is endless. It goes on and on. It would be amazing, like some amazing psychological thriller like from Christopher Nolan or something would be incredible. There's so many actors and so many directors I love to work with. It's yeah, the list goes. I could talk to you all day about that.
Right, right. Well, I mean, possibly another. I mean, from my aspect, and that maybe another Back to the Future movie. Who knows?
It'd be incredible. I'm a huge fan of those films. Huge fan. I mean, they reference. It's funny. A lot of people talk about how like the flashback sequences in Cobra Kai were very similar to like the Back to the Future sequences, the diner sequence, and all that, and how similar they were, and they are, which was great. And obviously Cobra Kai has that '80s nostalgia feeling to it. So, in those a remake like that would be incredible. If I could partake in anything like that, I'd be honored, and I'd definitely step up to the plate.
Right, because they're talking about another Back to the Future remake. Who knows? We don't know yet. So, who knows? But Christopher Nolan is a great director, producer. So, Tommy, do you want to ask any more questions?
Yes. So, if you could create any superhero in DC or Marvel, like a new one, what would your character be?
Sorry for these helicopters. My ride is here. Um, I It's interesting. It's funny. I auditioned for Captain America years ago uh, when they were casting it, and they were looking for actors, and I remember how fun that was to go and audition for like a character like Captain America, and it's funny. People are on social media are always like putting my face on like Captain America's body and like saying it would be fun if I was another Captain America. If something like that came up, it'd be a dream. But a new character. It's something that maybe not been done before. It's challenging. I don't know, an alien that has these powers, maybe that can do multiple things, and eventually always wants to do good, of course. Something that would be different and hasn't been done before would be amazing. And those movies are always so fun and so great to watch, and they're very inspiring at the same time. So I would love to do anything like that. I played The Shadow. Do you remember that movie, The Shadow?
Yes, with
With Alec Baldwin.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I've called him
Yeah.
cousin before because that's my last name, Baldwin.
Oh, I love it, love it. Yeah, if you actually go on YouTube, you can type in. I think if you type in my name and The Shadow, you can look up. It's like it was a pilot we did. It was so good. I had a great time playing that character. That would have been really fun to play The Shadow. He's a badass character. I really enjoyed that.
Right, right. So, do you have anything that you're working on now that's coming out in the future, or?
Yeah, I'm actually going off in about a month or so. I've got like 3 projects that I'm doing, all in different states around the country. Fortunately, it's been I've been very busy, which I'm really grateful for. And there's been great movies that have come out also over the past year. Max Reload and the Nether Blasters, a movie I did on Lifetime called Christmas on the Menu. There's another Lifetime movie coming out, a thriller that I did called Recipe for Abduction that I'm really excited about. And then obviously, of course, Cobra Kai. And then there's another thriller I did called Bring Me a Dream, which was really fun. Now there we go. That was another movie that I did with my dad called Bring Me a Dream. And funny enough, he was in these flashback sequences with me in that movie where he actually plays my dad. So definitely check those out. And yeah, there's a lot of really great stuff coming up. A lot of really incredible collaborations that I've put together as well. It's just been a really incredible year, and more coming. And I'm really excited to share with people.
Right, another AMC. Somebody said hi from the UK as well, so another
Oh,
person from
what's
the
up?
UK. A few more questions, and then we're gonna let you go. Can you tell us anything about season 4 Cobra Kai? Because we're excited for it, and we can't wait to see it. We know that they're down there filming right now. You know,
All right, you ready?
yeah.
I know nothing. No, I'm kidding. I can't say that, man. I can't tell you. I can tell you that season 4 it's going to be incredible. I mean, it's really what these guys have come up with and what they're doing. It's amazing. It's really amazing. The writers, John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Josh Hill, they've never disappointed anybody so far, and I know that they're not going to stop. So they are filming season 4. It's going to be incredible, and I think people are going to really be blown away.
Right, exactly. Tommy, do you want to ask him a question?
Let's see.
I think looks like it's frozen. Oh no, there we go.
No, okay. Oh, I got it now. I got the question now. Um, so, uh, what kind of skits did you perform for your family when you were growing up? Because I know that in your bio.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, one of the funny enough that actually ties into why I wanted to do acting was when I was younger. I was obsessed with watching magicians on like I forget what channel it was. It was like I don't know, some family network, and they always would play these Vegas magician shows, these magic performances that were like live feed from Vegas or something like that. And I would always perform magic in front of my family. I always like I perform, and I have the whole stage set up, and I guess that's kind of where my journey of performing for the family. And I always made my mother laugh. I loved to make my mom laugh a lot when I was younger. I still do today, but I think that's one of the things I loved to do when I was a kid. I did love to perform in front of my family and do accents and dancing and singing and make them laugh. That was always my favorite.
Right. What would you say to inspiring actors out there that are trying to get into the business and trying to get an acting career and stuff?
It's just really, you got to be relentless. Sorry, these helicopters, a lot going on here. Um, I just think that. Hold on, I'll let it pass. I'll mute myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think you just got to be relentless. If you have a dream, go for it. There's going to be so many naysayers, and it's just really it's just really about like never giving up. And it's usually that moment always when you're about to give up is when things start to happen for you. And it's a tough business. It's really tough. There's a lot of great talent out there, a lot of competition. And I think perfecting your craft, that's the most important thing. You can have these beautiful videos and shots and things look beautiful, but if the work is not there, then it's not going to be as interesting or as fun to watch. And so I think obviously taking acting classes and reading books and just really getting into the craft of it, eventually people will see you because great work is great work. You can shoot a movie on an iPhone, and if it's incredible, people are going to love it. You could have $100 million and have a flop. But if the work is good, it'll go very far. And so, yeah, I just think it's important for people to know that your dreams are possible. You can make them happen. And I never knew in a million years that Cobra Kai would ever come up in my life. And then even when they were making the show Cobra Kai, it was kind of funny to my dad and I when we talked about it. But here it is. It's a huge hit around the world. And also, the last thing I'll say is one of the most important things is if you just start something, you're already ahead of everybody else. If you're just doing it, no matter what it is, just do it. You're ahead of the game.
Right. Absolutely. I totally agree with you 100%. Well, I
Good.
mean, that's all the questions that we have. We thank you so much for your time and stuff.
Oh, thank you
So,
guys so much. It's such a pleasure, and dude, thank you guys so much for watching and being such great fans. And there's so much more to come.
right, we can't wait. Thank you for the writers as well. They do a good job, Josh Hayden and all that. So, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much.
All right,
Yep.
guys, take
See
care, and
you
remember,
again.